So let me ask you something. If
Yeah.
since you have like 300 hours, you're like fairly new. If you could give tips to a new player,
Yeah.
not like this is where you find a gun or this or that, kind of like big picture tips, what would you give to a new player?
Uh, Probably not to trust many people
Okay.
unless you're willing to lose what you have.
All right, I like that. Hello, everyone, and welcome. There are probably a lot of new players coming to DayZ now that we have the drop of 1.0 in the free weekend. For this video, I'd like to give you guys some big picture tips on ways to have really fun encounters and just ways to enjoy the game. If you guys are like me, you came to DayZ because you saw tons of really big YouTubers and streamers having these insane, amazing adventures where they get into cool gunfights and have meaningful encounters. These tips are to help you not only survive, but have that type of experience. I don't want to have easy tips like, go to Rifty Boat and find a gun there within 2 minutes of spawning. These are supposed to help you improve your overall experience, not just get quick gear. Alright, I'm going to start off with a pretty obvious one here, but I think it's pretty important, so I wanted it to be first. Use a microphone. This game is not just a PvP game like Call of Duty. You really need to have a microphone in order to have fun encounters. Talking to people and going on adventures is the best part of this game, and you're really going to miss out on a lot of good experiences if you don't have a mic. Not to mention, there's a general rule, no mic, no life, so without one, you're not going to last very long. Now this one might sound a little silly, but I do think that it makes a difference. How you look matters. DayZ is mostly a fashion simulator over a running or zombie survival simulator. Staying in civilian clothes and avoiding, fully decked out military gear can be a really good way to encourage encounters and talking to people. I'm not saying that you never want to have military gear, that's a fun way to play, but in the beginning, when you're trying to meet up with people and group up, definitely looking a little less threatening, not having your gun out, wearing regular civilian clothing is going to really help you look a little more friendly and approachable. Tip number 3, have 2 to 3 hours to play. This is not a quick game that you can just jump in and have a quick gunfight and sign off for the night before you go to dinner. I mean, there are going to be servers that'll allow that, but the vanilla gameplay experience takes a lot of time. You need time to loot up, you need time to go inland, you need time to find people, and then you need time to actually get into these fights and encounters. This is a long-term survival game. For the best experience, I definitely recommend having at least 2 to 3 hours free to play. You want to know how all those streamers get those awesome experiences? They play for like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Playing for an hour is just usually not going to be enough. The next tip not everyone will agree with, but this is how it is for me. Endgame gear gets boring. While it is a lot of fun to have that AK or that SVD and go on a killing spree at the Northwest Airfield, it is so much more fun to be looking for it and to actually find it. The journey is always better than the destination, at least personally for me. This is really going to tie into don't be afraid to lose your gear. When you do find that AK, definitely use it, but don't be so afraid to lose it that you don't take risks and put yourself into situations where you're going to have fun gunfights and fun encounters. Alright, my number one tip for having good encounters is notice them before they notice you. This is going to have a lot of stuff incorporated with it. If it's spotting them using binoculars like you see here, or if it's just stopping for a minute and listening, hearing someone approaching. I can't tell you how many times I've noticed someone just because I hear their footsteps or I hear them fighting zombies far away. Noticing them before they notice you allows you to control the situation and decide if you can talk to them, if you need to fight them, or if you need to avoid them entirely. This is a skill that you'll learn slowly over time, but it's definitely worth developing. Alright, so I do have one more bonus tip, but before I do, if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this or some adventure videos, please subscribe. And if you have your own tips, leave them in the comments section below. The final tip is for you to learn from your mistakes. You see there that I fell for a trap and got shot. I think it's really important that you understand that this game, there's no leveling up and no improving. You need to learn from your mistakes. Every time that you die in this game, see it as a learning experience. What could I have done differently? Could I have not fallen for the obvious trap that I just did in this clip? Could I have, flanked when I should have, when I stayed still? Could I have hunkered down in a building and had the enemies funnel in through one area? All these things, asking yourselves these questions, are ways that you're going to improve, because your character doesn't improve, you improve. Anyways, I hope that everyone liked this video, and I hope you learned something from it for those new players. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.